It's pretty cool. Like, this podcast is going to be pretty exciting to hear a POV of somebody that's been doing hair for over 20 years, who their social media, there was no social media. So I was putting flyers on cars, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you, who's been in the industry for a year or two now, and all you know is social media, and you know how well it works. And then we've got Luz, who literally directly talks to the clients, books the appointments, and y'all discover, like, okay, what are these clients wanting? The facts, the truth, because I feel like there's a lot of miscommunication between the clients and stylists. So I think we're here to kind of mend that. Welcome to our first podcast. It is called Hair and There. Because we're going to talk about hair, and then we're going to talk about there. Just kind of shoot the shit, I guess, on both perspectives, for clients and for stylists equally. Okay. This isn't going to be a bash the clients podcast by any means. So let's start off with, my name is Leda Fazal. Hello. You all know me. I own Tone Hair Salon in Raleigh, North Carolina. I've been doing hair for 21 years now, and I own a salon. I mastered extensions. I own and patented and invented the Swan method for hair extensions. I'm great at color corrections, great blending, and, I'm a little bit cray. So, great combo. All right. And so that's me right now. This is all I'm telling. Luz.
My name is Luz. I'm the receptionist at Tone, Leda's beautiful salon. I do pretty much everything there, and I've been working there for half a year now. So I'm still a baby there, but it feels like I've been there forever.
By everything, we mean from answering the calls to social media to running errands
to Poshmark. Everything. I'm like a receptionist / personal assistant. Everything. You name it, I'm there.
But the biggest thing is you get a POV of, I've been in the industry for 20 years. She's the receptionist answering the phone calls. So she's going to really be able to give us perspective of, like, what are the clients asking for these days? How do we keep clients, and how do you grow as a business, and find the right hair salon if you're a client, right?
Okay, well, I'm Kaylin. Obviously, y'all know me, but I'm a newer stylist. I started doing hair in 2021, and I've been behind the chair not a year yet, so I'm very, very new to the industry. But I learned from Leda everything I know, so I feel like I've been in the industry forever. But I like to do blondes. I also really enjoy vivids, dimensional color, stuff like that.
Extensions.
I was just about to say that.
Extensions. I'm an extension baby. I'm still little.
Yeah, but you're doing so good. You're doing great.
I know. I want to do it more. I want to get in there more, but extensions are probably my favorite thing, but I'm just not the most confident in them yet.
Yeah, you'll get there. But I think it's pretty cool. Like, this podcast is going to be pretty exciting to hear a POV of somebody that's been doing hair for over 20 years, who their social media, there was no social media. So I was putting flyers on cars, right? And you, who's been in the industry for a year or two now, and all you know is social media, and you know how well it works. And then we've got Luz, who literally directly talks to the clients, books the appointments, and y'all discover, like, okay, what are these clients wanting? The facts, the truth, because I feel like there's a lot of miscommunication between the clients and stylists. So I think we're here to kind of mend that.
Yeah.
getting firsthand what the clients want and what they're looking for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Well, that will lead us into our first topic today, which is going to be, I wrote it down. Of course, I forgot it already.
Client retention
Client retention.
and what they want.
Yeah. So, I mean, that does kind of lead us right into that, right? So I feel like personally, for me, I've gone to places where I've gotten my nails done or gotten a massage or something, and the person isn't really kind of feeling my vibe, and just like, let's say I'm in the mood to kind of like talk, be chatty, but this person, and this is what I find most of the time, they're not saying a word, and I'm like, I don't know. Part of the experience is actually kind of chilling and hanging out with you, in my opinion.
I feel the same way.
Yeah.
And I think you do such a great job, Kaylin, of communicating well with your guests. Like, if they feel like they want a quiet appointment, you're quiet. They want a fun, loud appointment, you're fun.
I'll give it to them.
I mean, and I think that's the way that it should be, you know? Another thing that I think that there was a misconnection. Is that a word?
No, I think you mean miscommunication.
A disconnection.
Disconnection.
Misconnection.
Misconnection. So on this podcast, we also make up words. We make up our own words. So I think there is a disconnection on prices. I think we all know that stylist prices have gone up a lot. I think due to social media, a lot of stylists are, they're putting out there, like, I'm not a $10 haircut at Great Clips. I'm not, I charge my worth and da 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 da. And the good thing is clients are actually understanding that now. However, you're going to charge that, you better bring it. Okay. And I think that's where a lot of problems are happening right now. So these people are going into salons, they're paying high prices, and you're putting out shit work. That's the problem, y'all. That's the problem. So why don't you, Luce, you want to tell us, like, what are some things that people call about for, getting booked?
So, I mean, clients do sometimes call for pricing. Obviously, like, some places do have like set prices, some places don't. They're just looking for good services, really. Like, they're wanting to find a salon that they can stick with. We've had a lot of clients call and come in and they end up staying. They're just looking for a good place to go to. And a lot of the times when we have new clients come in, they're always like, I love how the salon looks. Like, that's the first thing.
They're
always
one
like,
compliment
yes.
I get. I'm like, oh, thanks. Like, I'm the one who did it.
Yeah, they love how it looks. And then they just like the vibes. I mean, our salon has good vibes. We're always
good vibes.
Yeah, we're always in a good mood. Everybody there is getting along with each other. Between the stylists, there's no drama. We all get along with each other. So it's always good vibes at the salon.
And I think it is rare. I've worked in many salons where the vibe is not there. They're fighting like cats and dogs.
Yeah.
And I think as a stylist, you need to, figure that out. Don't stay somewhere where it's a bad vibe, where it's not your tribe,
Yeah.
Make sure you find a salon that fits you, instead of being miserable, because then, when you're miserable, you're going to put that on to the client. So
yeah,
I think just being happy, and I know, I get it. It's hard to find a great salon family, but it is possible.
It wasn't hard for me.
I honestly
No, I know. You're like, you got so lucky, girl. You're like,
I took my time.
I should put you in a shit salon. Like, be like, go work over there. Like I have to do with Hayden sometimes because he's so spoiled. Like, I'm going to go ahead and take you, to the projects for a minute so you can understand how good you have it.
Oh, I know.
But that's the thing, Kaylin. And you're wise beyond your years is what the truth is.
Oh, I'm so cute.
Both of you are. Both of y'all are. I wouldn't be doing this at your age. Like, I was out clubbing at this thing,
I do that too.
But you guys find a great balance. Like, you know when to work hard and you know when to have fun.
Yep, that's the important thing. But yeah, these clients, you can just tell when you go into a place, you can tell if it's going to be, if you're going to, like, if your service is going to be good. I mean, people always on the phones, they're mentioning, I've seen your Instagram page, Leda's Instagram page. They see the work. I mean,
Yeah.
self-explanatory.
And, you know, we don't bullshit with our work. You know, that's the most important thing. And setting up the guidelines prior to the client even sitting in the chair.
Yeah, I mean, number one thing I tell the clients every time, even with just the test strands, like, hair health is our number one priority. If the stylist feels like it will compromise your hair health, they're not going to do it.
Mm-hmm. And the fact that we have contracts and we make sure we go over the price before we touch. So, I mean, that's a big deal because a lot of clients ask, well, how much for this, how much for that? And, you know, you do a great job of saying, look, you have to sit in the chair, you have to go over the consultation, and then we'll go over prices. But I can promise you this, you won't have a surprise at the end.
Yeah.
Because we go over the price and that's the price. We don't change it. It is what is on the contract. Boom, done. So there's a lot of arguments. And, you know, I always say it's the best way to avoid the 3 R's, which are redos, bad reviews, and refunds. So by having contracts, by doing thorough consultations, and meeting the client's expectations, like that's
I've
huge.
seen that so much, like on bad reviews, they will be like, I didn't think that it was going to cost that much. That's like one of the main things, even on the Facebook groups that, you know, the hairstylist Facebook groups, they're like, I didn't think that this person was going to charge me this much for my hair. But like, that's not something that, I mean, that's not something that we do. The price is told to you
There's
before.
been a couple of times I'm like, I did a lot more work than I expected to do.
And you learn.
It should be this much, but I'm not going to change what I quoted because I quoted a price and that's the price.
That's right.
So you live and you learn, you know, and I think that honoring what you say to somebody is more important than, you know, getting what you feel like you deserve in certain situations. Like you have to bite the bullet sometimes. So for me, that consultation is like the most important part of the service.
Absolutely.
Because once we establish everything we're doing, from there forward, it should be a breeze.
That's right. It should be an absolute breeze. And for me, like in the salon, if any stylist doesn't feel comfortable doing somebody's hair, they have immediately just say no. You know in your gut that it's not a right fit, whether you're the client or the stylist. You know this isn't going to work out. And that's when you need to just move on. I think another thing that clients get mad about is, okay, well, I went to this stylist and she didn't do enough foils and, you know, I didn't get what I wanted. And then, I don't know how it comes up, but, maybe they'll say, you know, I paid like $150. And I'm like, oh, she thought that was a lot. Like, oh, that's why.
You only got a few foils.
The deal is, if you're going to lowball a stylist, if you're going to want to pay cheap prices, you're going to get cheap work because that stylist, time is money. So if you want to lowball and be, you know, cheaper, then you have to understand that that stylist is going to rush it. That stylist is going to do the minimal amount of work to get you there. Now, the disconnect is when the client is paying a lot of money and the stylist is still doing a shit job. That's the real problem in the industry right now. And Kaylin, I'm so glad that you came to our salon because I've been through it all. I've seen it all. And one of the biggest things I've always done is I commit to the client. Like whatever the client needs to be happy, that's what I'm going to do. But I also, you know, I don't, because of the consultations, because of the test strands, because of the contracts, like I used to have to do refunds. I used to have to do, you know, handle the bad reviews or redos, but that doesn't happen anymore. And, you know, being that you've only been in the salon doing hair for about a year, like your prices are high because you're worth it. So for those watching this and listening to this, if you're a baby stylist, don't be afraid and don't be like, oh, I have to like charge cheap prices at first. If you're worth it and you learned correctly and you had a great mentor, you can charge higher prices. I think another problem is that these schools are telling students, go, you could be your own business.
Yeah.
And they go into these booth rents with absolutely no mentor. They have absolutely no more education after hair school. And unfortunately, 90%, in my opinion, fail. They're the ones, I used to do hair, I don't do it anymore. Or I have my license just to get my products.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's so sad. And, you know, I feel like that's a fork in the road for a lot of baby stylists getting out of school. It's like, I've heard such bad things about working for somebody. I'm going to go out on my own, and you actually shoot yourself in the foot. It's not like a massage. Like a massage, I mean, yes, there's great massage therapists, but like it's a massage. There's so many factors in doing hair. Their hair type, their hair texture, their, you know, formulations, their outcome is so many different variables that it's so important that you know, take a couple of years and actually learn.
One thing that I've noticed, like just observing you guys and seeing how things go in the salon, like being a hairstylist, you're constantly learning. There's never, I mean, there's new trends coming out all the time. You're constantly having to expand your knowledge. It never stops.
Never stops.
I literally study daily. I'm on TikTok watching new videos, new trends, formulas. Like, that's one thing I will say that in order, like, and I'm not gonna lie, there's days I'm like, let me go look this up online and see if they have a better way of doing it. Because sometimes I feel like maybe what I'm doing is counterproductive and there might be a better way of doing it. So it's never going to be the same thing. It's always, and that's also part of doing hair too. Like, we have to do continuing education. It's part of having a license. And for the people that don't really take the continuing education serious, that's why they get stuck in the same trends, the same prices for so long. I want to constantly keep educating myself.
And I mean, people, even for the clients, like, they don't want to keep getting the same thing done to their hair all the time. Like, at some point, they're going to want to change it up. And they're going to want to follow the new trends and see what's new. And if their stylist is still doing the same thing, they're not going to want to keep going to them.
No, so some do like that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Leda's got some 20-year-old root touch-ups.
20-year-old root touch-up. They've been coming to me for over 20 years for the same root touch-up. And I'm like, hey, girl,
but then
you
have to think about it. It's they're coming to you. It's Leda, you know? Now, if it's somebody that's still doing the same thing and, you know,
if they didn't enjoy the service, for sure, I feel like.
Well, I think even asking the client, because one of the biggest mistakes that stylists can make is
they just assume
and mix up before they even sit in the chair. Like, they're like, okay, I'm ready for you. And you didn't even ask them.
Are we doing the same thing, girl? Switching it up. I say the same thing. We're doing the same thing. And I have those clients who are like, no, actually, you know, I kind of want to switch it up. I'm thinking I want a more rootier look. So, you know, it's very important to ask what we're doing before the appointment starts, which, you know, is very key if you don't want to just start throwing stuff in their hair and they wanted to switch it up.
Yeah.
But.
And I think also for clients listening, it's important to ask questions. And I know sometimes hairstylists like have their own lingo. So if you need to say, can you break this down for me again? Like, what exactly are we going to do? Because I don't know what a root shadow is. I don't know what a root tap is. I don't know what you mean by TZ light. What the fuck is a TZ light?
What's a level 7?
You know, what the fuck is a level 7?
It's okay to ask questions.
Yeah, it's okay to ask questions for sure. And, you know, clients ask for a test strand. Test strands are still kind of making their way out. And I know there's a lot of hairstylists that are going to listen to me right now, but you know what? This is my fucking platform, okay? This is my fucking platform right now. They're so important,
though. They're so important.
I started the whole tech. Yeah. Listen up, people. I started the whole test strand thing on TikTok. I did it, motherfuckers. Okay? Don't be like, oh, Leda said she started this. Yes, bitch, I did. Okay? I did. Nobody. And every day I see people, and here's how I know it was me, because I said test strand, and it's actually strand test, okay? So I know when somebody's like, I did a test strand, I'm like, bitch, that was me.
I'm not gonna lie.
Somehow influenced you on that.
That's part of the reason I enjoyed watching your videos when I was in cosmetology school, because of your test strand videos. Like,
well, you know what? When I was going through your TikTok, to look at, you know, I was doing your little TikTok thing that you guys, I was looking at the videos of the test strands and they got so many views, so many comments. Like, people loved your test strand videos.
They did, and not one of those motherfuckers tags me in their video. Not one. Not
They
one.
don't give you your props.
They don't
Give
get
Leda
nobody
her
gives me
credit.
Ain't nobody giving me credit, which makes me so angry. But I don't care. The bottom line is that more test strands are happening, which is freaking wonderful. And as a client, you should be asking. If you've had previous hair color, it's almost like, why the fuck weren't we doing this? You know what I mean? Like, why the fuck weren't we? Because you're going in blindly. The client doesn't know what's happening. The stylist can't guarantee what's going to happen.
Even when I'm on the phone with some people and I always ask for their hair history, you know the rundown, how it goes. I ask for their hair history. If they have box dye or permanent color in their hair, I always let them know that they're going to need a test strand. And they're like, what is that? Some people don't even know about it.
Yeah.
I will say the people that do know about it, though, really appreciate it. Like, I've had so many people like, yes, please do a test strand. Like, I appreciate that. Like,
and I would like to talk about, don't get it cut out, because I see some people cutting out the hair, which to me, you should never take a chunk of somebody's hair. I've also seen stylists take texturizing shears and gather it up. But in my experience, because I did a lot of test strands at home, it's not going to give you the same result as sitting on somebody's head with heat, right? That's number one. Number two, it is important for the client to actually sit there and realize, wow, holy shit, this has been on my hair for 45 minutes. Like, let's see what it comes out to. And then, like, let's say it's gold. You can show them in the mirror, it's on their head. And they're like, oh, fuck. Like, I guess I'm not going to have that platinum because I know that this was sitting on my hair for an hour.
Right.
You know, this might take a couple of times. Instead, like, when these stylists are cutting it out, you know, they're going hours before they call the client. Hey girl, so this is your results. You know, that's not a connection. That's a disconnection right there. Literally disconnecting with the hair. And then people are like, what do you do with the test strand? It's gold. I'm rocking gold test strands in my hair right now. Okay. First off, clients don't give a shit. Second, you can always
if they do, we color it back.
They're gonna rebook anyway, and you're gonna take care of it. So
yeah,
it ain't stressful.
It's just a little test strand.
Just a little test
My
strand.
clients never care about having it. I'm like, do you want me to cover that up? No.
I had a test strand in my hair for like a month, remember?
I remember.
And I didn't even care.
I got a couple. I don't care. One's here. I'm like, every once in a while, somebody will be like, hey, we got a blonde piece there. I'm like, yeah, I'm a blonde. All right, let's move on to one of the biggest subjects right now, demattings. So let me give you guys a little backstory on the demattings. So about a year ago, actually just over a year ago, a client came in and she had booked a haircut with Sam, and Sam was going on vacation. It was like 5 p.m. and he was like headed out the door already. Like he's like, shit, okay, I just got to do this haircut and get out, right? She comes in with the most matted hair, okay? She doesn't speak English. And it was like, she was crying. And she goes, I've been to so many salons and everybody just said no. And I booked a haircut because I want you to shave it off. And me and my assistant then, Cameron, if you're watching, hey girl. Cameron was like, no, like we don't have to do that. We can do this. And we put some oil in her hair. We sent her home that night because we didn't know what we were doing yet, you know. She came in the next day and me and Cameron busted it out. And she had the most beautiful, silky, gorgeous hair.
I remember seeing that video.
To shave her head, right?
Wow.
And we found out that she was pregnant. Like, yeah. And so her case was, you know, she didn't take care of herself for a couple months. And people always do ask, like, how do people get detained? How do they get matted? And it's just, you know,
you
mental
just never
health
know.
is key, you know? But anyways, that's how it started. And then we've had people we had Brie, who was your first dematting. And you want to tell?
That was it was a very crazy experience because I just remember I was still assisting and you were like, so this girl might be coming from Texas tomorrow for us to demat her hair. And I was like, really? And like, I remember we booked her appointment just on faith. We didn't know what it looked like. We didn't ask for pictures. We didn't do anything that we do now. Like, it was just kind of like, let's see how this goes. And Bree was just the sweetest person ever. Hey, Bree, if you're watching, I love
We think
her.
about you all the time.
Literally, we talk about her all the time. And I keep up with her. And I'm like, she's so cute. She got married. Like, but it was literally, it was my first one, but I was just like taken back by how we were able to get that out at first. And I'm like, the fact that she had a wedding coming up, there were so many factors. I'm like, yeah, there's no way you could cut
this. And how did it happen?
At snorkeling in St. Martin. And of all things, snorkeling. And I think what'd she say? She was out from like 9 a.m. to like 5 p.m. Snorkeling on the boat. And like, nobody thinks, hey, my hair is going to get matted, you know, to the point where I can't get it out. And then she went to the hairdressers there and they texturized it, which made it even worse. And it was a crazy experience. But I mean, the Demattings are so, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but the bond we build with them.
Yeah, it's very emotional.
It's very emotional and like sincere and genuine. And I love all of our Dematting clients. They always are just so grateful.
Today, we got a Dematting call, and it was somebody in Europe.
Wow.
That had been watching your videos, and they were looking to do, looking for our services.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean,
the fact that it's reached Europe is just mind blowing to me.
I mean, we know what we're doing and we get it done within a day. We haven't had anybody over a day. So I think that's, key. And we just, it's a very like emotional because it's our first time with them and then kind of
and
our
it's our
last time.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, like when you're sitting there dematting somebody's hair for 8 hours, like you definitely form a connection.
Yeah.
I will say, like, honestly, we haven't had anybody have a bad experience with us. I mean, like, it's always, as bad as the situation is, it's always good vibes.
Always.
And they've never been sad. Like, while they're in there, like, we make them feel so comfortable. We're all able to laugh. Like, honestly, sometimes I'm like, how do they laugh in a time like this?
They're
so strong.
They're so strong.
So strong.
I mean, from 9-year-olds to 65-year-olds, they're so mentally strong.
Yeah. Ugh. It takes a lot to be able to, come forward and be like, I need help.
Yep.
And when they do that, though, it's very freeing, like, to know that they're, like, on the path to, like, heal. Because a lot of these people are dealing with a lot of, like, mental health issues and, like, depression. And there are certain circumstances, like, people went swimming or scuba diving. And Dominique Dawes' daughter, it was just sports. And, so it can happen to anybody. But
any texture, any age.
Any texture, So it's just, like, when they can finally be like, okay, let's get this out. I'm going to start over, take care of my hair. It's like it's a cool journey to watch.
Yeah.
And I think they also appreciate that, we are a judgment-free zone. And when they come in, they're still scared. They still think that we're going to judge them. They still think we're going to ask questions. And we're not. That's not our job. It's not our job to do anything more than take out your mats and have a good time.
Yeah.
The first hour is kind of like, they're
loosening up.
But then, like, afterwards, like, they start sharing stories with us and,
And we don't have to ask. They just feel comfortable. And, like, we're a judgment-free zone. We don't ask questions. But 9 times out of 10, they're going to tell us just because they feel comfortable around us and with us. And they don't feel judged. So it's good to know that they feel comfortable with you and that you can make them feel better in the situation they're in. Because it's hard to feel good when you're in that situation sometimes.
Right. Absolutely. All right. What is our last topic again?
Oh,
the hair.
Oh, okay. So we have a little fun.
So, while looking for these pictures, since, you're like the extension queen, I try to do more like extension ones. So we're pretty much doing like bad celebrity hair.
Good or bad, though. I mean, right now, I don't know what her collection is, but in the future, we're not going to just bash celebrities. She probably picked out all bad ones. But I think it's important for us to be like, okay, that's Jennifer Lopez. Her hair looks beautiful, but 90% of that is hair extensions, or she's getting root touch-ups and highlights, and
okay,
just
well,
kind of.
this one isn't an extension one. This one is actually just color, but it's pretty bad. Okay.
Drew Barrymore. Is there a camera I can show this to? All right, this is Drew Barrymore.
You might have to like
Hold on.
probably.
Oh my gosh.
Hold it up again.
I thought that was a collared shirt she was wearing. It went fuzzy again.
We'll put it up on the screen later.
Okay.
Okay.
I thought that was is this new?
I don't know how old these are. Some of them look a little old, but I mean,
She like just got dipped in a black paint bucket. What? I was like, at first I was like, her hair doesn't look bad, sweet. I thought she had a collar shirt on. Now I know.
It does look like the collar of her coat.
Really? I was like, that's not that bad. Yeah.
okay. And then I did pick this one because I know like Hayden's like the Nicki Minaj stan. So, Nicki Minaj always has crazy hair.
Oh. Huh. Like a cheetah. Rare.
Let me,
All right.
let me
It
see.
reminds me of I was doing these test strands at home
Oh
once
my God.
where I like just put a bunch of I put a pink heart in the test strand and then I wiped it and it was like a pink heart.
Seen those. Yeah.
That's,
Could you imagine that color correction?
oh my God. I wouldn't do
If a
it.
client came in and was like, I need my hair done, I fucked it up.
I'm not the stylist for you.
Okay, so this is one of the extension ones.
Oh yes.
I think that was like viral actually.
Yes, it was. Because I think people thought it was actually a publicity stunt, and it could be. Because
Like intentional?
What the actual hell is going on?
There's no way she thought those extensions looked
There's
good.
no way.
Maybe like
I think that it was done as a like to trick people,
I
like
think so too. I mean,
like just for like to get her name on the scene again because.
But could you imagine being her stylist? Being like, "Hey, I'm gonna fuck your world up, but but I'm gonna get some publicity out of this, okay?"
Okay,
don't know.
what were your opinions on Billie Eilish, like her green and black phase?
Those are called ghost roots, I think they call them.
Oh.
That's an actual like trend.
I actually liked it. I mean, I don't have any clients that would do it, but
Yeah, I think there's like only a certain amount of people that can actually pull it off.
Yeah.
She's
I
one
think
of
it
them.
looks pretty dope. I've seen a lot of those online nowadays, and they look kind of dope the way people do them.
Vivids, like
With
I don't
Vivids.
think with, like just
When they
straight
do
up
the blonde and
weird.
Okay, and then
black.
next is Britney Spears.
Oh, Britney. Oh, Britney. We have, I mean, I was there for her when she shaved her head.
No, same.
She's
But those
saying I was there for her, like if she was actually there for her.
We're besties. No, but I always felt bad for Britney because I'm sure, the paparazzi, we didn't have social media back then, right?
Paparazzi used to
And
be
like
on
they
her
drove
ass.
her probably crazy. But then her extensions, holy
She
shit.
always has her extensions showing though. She does it with no shame.
Well, I think like a couple months later when she had a little bit of regrowth, she did like K-tips or something.
Yeah, I seen
My
a picture
thing
of that.
is, like, if you know you're gonna be in the spotlight, I mean, and you have the money for it, at least make sure your hair looks somewhat decent.
Yeah.
There's people taking pictures of you of all angles, at least
all angles, like where the clip-in is at.
Did you all see my TikTok I made the other I think it was last night, where I was watching Suits and you could see the back of the blonde's head. Like she's the one that's with Lewis. Anyways.
Oh, yes. The one that works at the school.
Oh my God, you could see her clipping, and I paused the TV. And I was like,
of course you did, Leda.
No way. I've watched that show twice. And I never noticed.
Okay.
Yeah, season 7.
Here's another one. I don't know who that is.
Courtney Love. Oh, Lord of mercy. Poor thing. I mean, at this point,
Let me
just get
see
a
this.
wig. Just get a wig.
Oh wait, I remember seeing that one.
Yeah. I mean, it looks
that's
painful.
pointless. It looks painful, and it's literally, I think that was before, the whole like wig thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
this
white
looks familiar, like something I've seen before.
This looks like me like 2 years ago when my hair got fried as fuck as a blonde.
The way the wind caught it and the extension just came right out.
Oh, Lord. Who is this?
You know, it's so funny, Leda. We were doing a dematting and, like I'm filming throughout the process. Your TikToker fans are out of pocket. They like kind of
coming for loose.
They kind of saw a little peek and they were like, I see your tracks. All the comments, I see her tracks. And I'm like, oh my God. Well, Swan method. Get with it.
Well, often the tracks are not showing. In the Swan
No,
method.
they're
No,
not.
she did.
Look,
I don't know what
disclaimer.
she
My
had.
hair was parted.
She had her hair parted right down the middle and pulled to the side. Like
The day
Well,
that she came in.
even ever shadow rooted it.
Did we?
I don't know what y'all did to begin with. I just installed them.
They probably need to be shadow rooted. But hairstyles take care of their hair the least. That's why I'm
No,
rocking
they-
2 test strands.
That's why I haven't had my hair
That
done
day
since
that you came in,
September.
Leda, and you had your half up, half down.
With this.
I thought I was looking all sexy. I was like, I got my hair half done. I don't do this. It's usually just down. So I'm like, I'm feeling fancy today.
With the Gucci
With the
thing.
Gucci band, yeah. And then everybody called me out real quick.
Not everybody, I did. And you were like,
Okay.
why didn't you tell me, Drika?
Here's another one.
Oh, bless her little heart. But yeah, it looks painful as shit.
What?
That's why I don't like those individual.
Yes, I seen that one too. And I don't mess with the K-tip things because it looks like painful.
Mhm.
That looks
So
like
with the
it hurts.
K-tips is with the glue, right?
It could be with
Okay,
a glue or
or
with
it
a
can-
bead. But it's a single extension on somebody's a little bit amount of hair. And it can be ripped out very easily. I actually, at one point, I went to a hair show and I got them done and it destroyed my hair.
Wow.
So wait, if the K-tip is with like the glue, like the
Keratin
keratin
bond.
bond, but the one with the bead, wouldn't that technically be like micro links or something?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with the glue, isn't that like a pain in the ass to take out?
I mean, you have a solution and then you kind of like take pliers and you crunch it out. I think like a few, if you have to fill in on the sides, if
Right.
you have to. I honestly, with the Swan method, TM, if it's done correctly and placed correctly, I don't think you need anything else.
Yeah.
It can be done.
Yeah.
The only time I will ever add something else like a tape in is if they have real short hair and they want real long hair and I have to put some tape ins in the back, like the back row, because you could put a third extension weft in there. You can do it, but gravity is going to hit and it's going to droop really quickly, even with the perfect method.
Installation.
Yeah, gravity is the curve of the head. You got the extension.
It's just going to be hanging.
Right. So that's where I'm like, okay, if you tape in's a great option there, but and it's not my.
I've seen so many pictures like in the Facebook groups of the tape-ins and like their hair is like
ripped out.
Yeah. It looks bad.
It has to be done correctly. I mean, tape-ins are fairly easy, but with the wrong stylist, it can be detrimental.
I remember that one time I had to help you take out those tape and extensions on somebody, and I was like, "This is so hard." Yeah, I was like, "This is so hard."
Sucked.
Like I'd never experienced it before, and I was like, "Oh, I can only imagine having to take out a whole head of them shits." We only took out like 5 of them, and I was like dying.
It was tacky and sticky.
It didn't want to come out.
It was horrible. Tape-in era was a horrible time. Even wearing it, like I used to wear tape-ins because we didn't have any options. And I remember this one time, so stupid. I had gotten a keratin treatment, which is crazy because I'm allergic to Brazilians. So I got the keratin treatment and then I had my extensions installed. And I was like on Instagram, like, oh my God, look at my hair. It's so cute. It was like peach tape ins. And then I was like, I wanted to go to a hot yoga class. So I go to a hot yoga class, okay? And
Did they mail it out?
which is like a stupid thing to do after keratin anyway. And then I went to go shower and wash my hair because when you're in hot yoga, your hair is wet, right? Yeah, I'm in the shower and I shit you not, they're all falling out. And I'm like, every single one of them fell out. And that has never happened. So you know what? If you ever want your extensions to get right out, maybe you get a
Hot
keratin
yoga.
and go to hot yoga. I don't know. But it was so bad, and I was so embarrassed because I was like, oh my God, I just showed everybody that I got this hair.
Now it's gone.
So I had Joe, my husband, put them shits back in. That
No,
night.
you
Yes,
didn't.
I did. I was like, hey, Joey, remember when you used to put my tape pins in? We're back.
What made you pick peach?
I don't know. I've been every color.
You're so unhinged, Leda. Like,
When I see old pictures of Leda with all these crazy colors, I'm like, I don't see that in her now because she's
Yeah.
always had this dark.
Well, because, every time I feel the need to be like, I want to be a blonde, I want to do something different, having all those colors fucked it up.
mhm.
Because when we would do my highlights, there'd be red, there'd be green, there'd be all this stuff. And I'm like, I just want highlights like a normal person.
Like, I don't want to be crazy anymore.
I was like, maybe I should, because I'm like, maybe I should have my own consultation. Like, bitch, what did you do 2 years ago? Oh, yeah, it was red. Yep, then I was pink. Yeah, then I was blue.
How often were you changing between these colors?
I mean, when I had the base of the color, which was, a blonde caramel
Mhm.
color, then I would just throw up whatever, a red or pink, a blue, a purple.
I'm not that bold. I like this.
And now if your
too.
client does that, you're like, what are you doing?
Mhm.
You need to calm down. All right, well, let's look at this next picture. It's a haircut or whatever that is.
It's like a wig.
I don't think so.
I think that's all is that
Let me
it? That's
see.
just K-tips. Like, why would you put
What the
K-tips on
fuck?
the top of the head?
That looks like Albert Einstein. But what are the white things? Can you zoom in? The white things at the end?
I mean, K-tips at the bangs?
I don't know if she chose.
Did she want like an
haircut.
ombre?
Who knows?
That's not a haircut. That's all extensions.
Yeah.
Okay.
And looks synthetic, too.
Yeah.
Do you
Shiny.
guys
It looks like a wig.
Do you guys think this is a wig?
Yes.
Let me see. Oh yeah, for sure. There's no hair that's not even a good wig. It's not a lace
Mm-mm.
closure.
No.
That's a synthetic
Synthetic as hell.
machine tie or whatever.
Yeah, not good. All
I remember I was in hair school and I had a friend, I was bartending with her, and she wanted to dress up as Elvis. And she got this like curly wig. And I was in hair school. And she was like, do you think you can flat iron this so it could be like straight like Elvis? And I was like, yeah, of course. I put the flat iron on that synthetic hair and it melted right up. She was so pissed because it was like we were getting ready to get dressed up and go to work. And I'm like, yeah, I'm a hairstyle. I was like, of course I can flat iron that.
What did it smell like?
Oh, ass. Oh man. Hair school was
God.
something. I remember one time I was in hair school and we were learning what's that iron that you put in the oven, like
Like a hot comb?
like a hot comb. And I was like, I want to flat iron my bangs. And so I put that shit right here. That shit melted my bangs right off.
Oh wait, they use that for like to lay wigs, right? Yeah. Oh my God, Leda.
Oh God. You melted your bangs off?
Yeah.
Did it just melt off or did it
It
sizzle?
was stuck on the thing.
Oh, shit.
I saw it. I took it off and I was like, that's my hair.
I never did anything that bad, but I did allow it was my instructor. I allowed my instructor to cut my hair into a pixie. Worst decision of my fucking life. And then I also fried my hair going platinum. We did like 3 bleach outs in one day.
Hair school hairs.
I mean, the only bad hair experiences I've had is like haircuts. When I would go to like a salon, I'd be like, I'd show them the picture. This is how I want my hair, layers, just regular layers. My hair was long and they one time, like, my hair was, like, actually this long, and they cut it, like, to right here, but I couldn't see myself in the mirror. Like, when she turned me around, my hair was...
And was this like a nice salon?
It was a Hispanic salon.
Not nice?
Not really, but I was like, she didn't even pay attention to what I
she's
said.
Hispanic.
I am Hispanic, 100%.
El Salvadorian.
I am.
My parents used to bring us to hair schools.
My mom did too.
Oh, bless. I mean,
Thankfully, she only broke me for a blowout though.
I remember going in one time and I said, "Can I get the Jennifer Aniston, like all these like layers?" And she was like, "Who's Jennifer Aniston?" And I had to go next door to get a magazine to show her. And that was my first mistake of like, she didn't even know who Jennifer Aniston was, and she was hot then. You know what I mean? Like everybody knew who she was. And then, I ended up with like a short bob.
Oh my God.
The fact that you were lucky enough to find a picture of hers that quick. Where next door? Where?
I don't know. It was in New York when I was living in New York. Just happened to be.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I did a few butcher jobs in schools, so I can't.
I mean, but that's what hair school's for. Like hair school is your time to shine and experiment. Like it is what it is, and clients know that. They know going in paying $5 for a cut, you ain't gonna get nothing special. But that's what they're willing to do, and you're learning. So.
And it's necessary to have people that are willing to do that, or we wouldn't be able to learn.
Absolutely.
So.
And sometimes there's a golden nugget in there. Sometimes it's like, I've had people say, I had one of my best haircuts in hair school, So it's not to say that every single cut and color is going to be horrible, because there are instructors there. They are guiding them. But, it's usually slower, and, you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
I'm excited to go to hair school, actually.
Yeah, we got to get you in there. That's the goal. So maybe our goal is for this podcast to pay for Luce to go to hair school.
We're accepting donations.
The Luce Hair Fund. Luce Hair School.
I'll go to hair school soon. It's coming.
Yeah.
New
hairstylist on the way.
Who's gonna do everything else then?
Yeah, no, I'm already thinking like, who the fuck do I have to hire now? Like,
because you ain't gonna find nobody that's gonna do Poshmark and all this and all that, and run to the grocery store. Oh, and
buy plants.
And buy plants.
Those damn plants.
Go to 5 stores to buy the plants.
They're so cute though.
Yeah, they're really cute. It's a nice touch. All right. Yeah. Well, I think this was a successful podcast, our first one. And we're going to do this hopefully weekly, and kind of we're going to post these on social media. You can find us on TikTok, Leda Fazal, Instagram, Leda Fazal, and Tone Hair Salon NC. I also have the Swan method, which is on IG. You can check that out. Ask me questions. I'm here for you guys. I am teaching courses. I do online. So you can literally, if you see my method and you're like, I want to learn that, you can go click on the link in my bio and purchase it right away. And you could start learning it in less than 24 hours. And I'm going to tell you guys this. The students that are taking my course are fucking mind blown, and they are learning it quick. This isn't a torture course, okay? I teach you in a different, I do it very differently. I did get a US patent on this. This isn't like your same old bullshit course. My students are learning this in just a couple tries. I mean, it's unbelievable. Like, I'm so impressed. You do get my personal cell phone number. You keep in contact with me. If you ever want to do, video chats, I'm open. You're my student. You are my world. If you sign up, we're forever together. So it's not just a course that you just sign up online. We have a connection forever. And I also do plan on doing in-person classes very soon. I also do offer one-on-one training if you prefer that. But I still recommend just get the online course. If you really want to learn, if you want to excel in your extension method, take my course, because I feel like every single class you take, you learn something. This one, you're going to learn everything. Because the way I teach you, it's actually going to probably open your mind to all the other methods out there. It kind of gives you an all-in-one, to be frank. So take it. Just trust me on this, okay? Trust me on this because I worked really hard to make it perfect and I have too much to lose for it not to be, okay?
I mean, for someone that works closely to Leda, she puts her all into this. So,
and from somebody who learned from Leda, I feel like I am so ecstatic that I didn't take the extension classes that I wanted to take prior to working here. Like, I would be mad at myself if I invested in those and then came here and learned the Swan method. I'd be like, fuck.
Yeah.
Why did I spend all of that money?
Right.
And I have it right here.
Right.
Like, everything all in one. It's seamless. It's, the best extension method out there, in my opinion. Just
I'm not
as
even a
baby stylist.
hairstylist, and this is the method that you guys need to
for sure
invest in. For sure.
She's seen it. I mean, you see, like, it's 360 seamless. So any way you look at it, it's seamless. It stays put. You don't have ugly beads showing. You don't have ugly threads showing. It's flexible from day one. Clients can easily go 7 to 9 weeks. I mean, it's just, for the right head, it's
just
amazing.
the best.
And it's great for thin hair, thick hair, long hair, short hair. I mean, you could do it all on any type of hair. And it does not cause any issues on the scalp.
And as a hairstylist, from a hairstylist perspective, it's easy to do too.
Yes.
Once you practice, it's easy. Like, once you get it down pat, because at first, I struggled a little bit. It takes a lot of practice on a lot of different heads. But now when I get it down pat, like, I'm stitching like it's nothing. Like, it's very easy and self-explanatory.
And a lot of people do compare my method to like some other seamless more methods, but mine's very different. Like, I can't say too much, but it is nothing like the other methods because I don't do a top stitch. You'll never see that thread exposed,
the horizontal
line.
And I mean, just for me, like, speaking, because I have the Swan method on my head, like, I can't even imagine having to like brush my hair and then it snags on a thread. Like, that would be so annoying.
Right. Yeah. That's the problem I wanted to solve because I'm like, somebody could just take their brush and brush that thread that's exposed like that. So that's the difference with my method. I also do have hair available on my website, and it is the best hair. I had to search long and hard. And that's another episode. So maybe on our next podcast, we could talk about hair extension quality. Because I don't think people understand how hard it is to get the good stuff. Okay? Because 90% of what's in America is shit. It's shit. It's processed. It tangles. It doesn't last. Like, it's pure shit. So definitely something we can talk about next time. But I've got a new website coming out. It's getting worked on right now. So I'm super excited about that. The online course consists of a step-by-step and a live demo tutorial. I also offer a charcoal class if you guys are interested in the charcoal bleaching class. And, depending on your state, you may need a license, you may not, right? So that's something you need to, because people are like, do you have to be a hairstylist to take my extension course? And my honest opinion is it depends on your state, because some states don't require a license and some do. So, it's open
to everybody.
Depending on their state, it's open. Yeah, I can't say, no, you can't have it and your state allows it. That wouldn't be fair.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah. All right, guys. Well, it's been real. Super excited.
This was fun.
This was a lot of fun.
It was.
I hope you guys enjoyed it from the client's perspective and from hairstylist perspective. If you guys have any like, oh my God, will you do a podcast like this next time? Talk about this, talk about that.
Give us ideas.
Email us.
And topics, please.
Email us. Right now, you can email us at info@tonehairsalon.com. And we would love to hear from you. DM me on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Tone Hair Salon, and just Tone Hair. No, YouTube's Leda Fazal. It's all Leda Fazal. Except Instagram is Tone Hair Salon NC. Because somebody out there in Asia has Tone Hair Salon by itself. So I have to have NC. And I'm like, every day, I'm like, motherfucker, it would complete my life if I could just have Tone Hair Salon.
Have you tried DMing them?
Yes.
You did.
I've tried bribing them. I've tried everything.
No. Did they respond?
No.
Of course they
This
did.
crazy American. Caitlin, what's your Instagram handles?
My
Or
hair.
Facebook and Instagram, not your personal.
No.
That's a little
It's
questionable.
private. No, my hair page on Instagram is Slayed by K, K as in CAI. And my Facebook hair page is just Hair by Kaylin, CAILIN.
Awesome. All right.
Follow them.
And you can harass Luce anytime. Just call the salon 919-701-7027 and she'll be answering. You can come up with some shit. Be like, hey, I just bleached my hair and it's melting off. And really just like fuck up her world. It'd be great.
Yeah. Test
Please
it.
do. Please do that.
All right. I think we're queuing. Is that queuing off? Cut.
All right.
Solomon the man, by the way.
Toodles.
Bye, you guys.
Bye.
Till next time.